Feel it sinking in. Lonely faces say you need a friend. No matter the distance, I will always be there. No more inhibitions. I'll show you I care. You've been lost and alone in the city lights. I know.
I sat with my anger and asked why it kept showing up. It said, because you've been hurt and no one listened. I sat with my sadness and asked why it never left. It said, because I'm the love and care you never received. I sat with my fear and asked why it controlled me. It said, because I'm the part of you that's still waiting to feel safe. Then I realized these feelings weren't my enemies. They were my wounds asking to be seen. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Epoxy Me That. How are you? I hope doing okay. And I want to thank you for showing up today. I have in front of me some Let's Resin silicone rubber. We are going to make some molds today, my friends. Let's Resin was so kind, and I want to thank them so very much for sending this to us to review on our channel. Now, I've never used this silicone rubber before. It's 30A. Have you used it before? Let me know. You get some popsicle sticks with this. One of them was busted, but I don't mind that. I'll use it to pick trash out of my resin or debris, you know, maybe a bug or two. So I'll just keep those and use those for that. But these we can use to stir with. You get quite a few of those. You also get a bunch of gloves here. Let's see how many pair you do get. And these are the nitrile gloves. They're the good ones. That's 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair, 4 pair, 5 pair. They were even nice enough to make sure the pairs matched. So you get 5 complete pairs of nitrile gloves. All right, I'm super excited to start pouring this silicone, and I'm super excited for our molds we're going to make today, and I hope you are too. So let's hop to it. I was going to use the gloves that Let's Resin provided, but they're rather large for my tiny hands, and I can't stand to work and some of the glove be hanging off, you know, a little. So I'm not going to be able to wear them. But I'm very appreciative for Let's Resin throwing gloves in with their kits. That's awesome of them to even do that. And I know they can't please everyone. They can't say when you order it, ma'am or sir, what size glove would you like with your order? Small, medium, large, or extra large? So that's okay. Can't please everybody. Maybe my husband can use them grilling or something. I know you're peeking over here at my little pieces. Did you even notice them? We're going to be making this gorgeous porcupine. And it's so crystallized. Just beautiful. And this is going to be a she. We always tend to say he. And yeah, we can't do that. So this is going to be a she. So think of a name for her. Then we're going to be molding this beautiful, beautiful crystal rock. My intentions for this is going to be handles for a tray. I have 2 of these. We're going to be molding 2 of them. And I know you're thinking, well, how are we going to do that when this is on there? I'm going to show you how. Then we're going to mold this beautiful rose as a tray handle as well. Are y'all excited? You ready for this? Let's go ahead and prep our pieces inside of their mold containers. I'm going to be using this cup, and this container right here. I've already placed my transfer tape. This is just some Cricut transfer tape on the bottom of my porcupine here. And I like to do that because when we take it out of the silicone, you pull this up, and most of the time it will work. No silicone will get underneath there, and then you'll have a perfect indentation of the bottom side of your porcupine, and you won't have a lot of cleanup to do with the silicone. Sometimes the silicone will seep under there, but it's not hard to clean it up, because if it does get under there, it will be very, very thin, and most of the time you could just pull it with your fingers. So that's why I cut out a piece of transfer tape, and you don't have to use Cricut transfer tape. You can use any kind of transfer tape that you like, and place on the bottom of my pieces that I'm going to be molding. And he's not going to float because he's rather heavy. So I don't need to put any glue down in there or anything to hold him in there. So we're just going to set him down in there and make sure we have him positioned right. We don't want him hitting the walls of our container here. So I'm giving him enough space here, here, and on both sides. Now that one's ready to go. Now on this one, I'm going to be taking the little nuts and washer off of it. Now we can't get anything else off, and I don't have a tool to cut this off right here. My husband could have done it, but I forgot to ask him, and he's at work, so we're gonna have to make do with it. But I'm gonna show you how we'll get by with it. And when you make this mold, you don't have to use this part. We won't be molding the stem, but this bottom portion here will be in the mold. But you don't have to pour your resin up that high if you don't want this part in the mold. You can stop right here when you're pouring. Okay, I'm going to start by taking my little Cricut tool here and poking a hole right in the center of the cup at the bottom, right like that. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to get it through that hole. And we're just going to screw it in the hole because we made the hole smaller than the piece. I may have to get it a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Cricut blade here and I'm just going to make 3 little slots in it, like that. There we go. I'll just straighten our cup back out. Now we're going to push it all the way down in there. And we're going to get some hot glue and go around the bottom there. And then we're going to take this cup here and place it inside of that, and that's going to level it out. Okay, and I'm going to do this one the same way, and I'll meet you back. I have our pieces ready in their mold containers and ready to pour. But first, I wanted to do this with you so you can see exactly how I'm going to do it. Even though we have prepared our pieces inside of their mold boxes, we need to turn them upside down and put some hot glue around that to ensure that we don't lose any silicone through it. And if we do, it's not going to be much and it won't affect our mold. Okay, so I'm going to do one with you, and then I'll finish the rest myself. I have my hot glue gun here. It's ready to go. So let's go ahead and seal this up. We want to make sure we seal it really good. Alright, I think that's going to do it. And we're going to let that dry, and then it's ready to pour. And we don't need to hold it or anything because our piece in there is not going to be coming out, because it's in there really good. So you can just set it like that and let it go. Let it dry. Okay, I'm going to sit them in front of a fan so it'll speed it up a bit and we can get to moving. Now they are dry. Our glue is dry. So now we're going to take our little smaller cup here and drop that one right on in there, and that's going to level it out. Now let's get our silicone jugs opened. There will be a little tab in here that you just reach in and pull it. And now I'm going to do this other one. I'm going to be using these plastic cups here because I'm going to be running my silicone through my Let's Resin debubbler machine. You can run your silicone through the bubble remover machines too to get the bubbles out of your silicone. So I'm going to go ahead and put that cup on there, turn my scales on, and now I'm going to go ahead and pour part A into my cup. I'm not sure how much we're going to need. I'm going to stop right there. That's 254 grams. I'm sure we'll have to make up some more, but at least this will get us started. Okay, that's 254. So now I'm going to remove that cup. I have another one here I'm going to place on there, and I'm going to tear my machine out, which means clear my scales. And then we're going to pour 254 grams of B into our cup here. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. My craft room is under major construction right now. It's just gotten to the point where I can't even, it just frustrates me to even craft in here because there's so much stuff. I went over 254, so I just dipped a little bit out. I'm going to reweigh them. Okay, that's 288. $287. So I'll add a little bit more to that one to make it 288. There we go. Now I'm going to reweigh them again just to be sure they both match. Clear my scales out. Now that one's saying 287. We're just going to roll with that. 288. I don't know. Let's get it out and match it up, y'all, so we don't have no boo-boos. Just get that back on the scale. It says 288 now. Which is it, scales? 288 or 287? Come on now. That's 288. Now it's saying 287. I'm just going to add a little bit more to it just to be on the safe side. Now 288. I have my little timer out here. It's set for 3 minutes. I haven't pushed start on it yet. I'm hoping when I put this one into this cup that it's going to fit. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, it's gonna fit. We won't be stirring super fast anyway. I have all of the silicone stirred up, and we cannot put it in the bubble remover machine like this because it will just bubble up and come out of the cup. So I'm going to split it up into several cups. And you don't really want to use silicone cups to put inside the debubbler, because these plastic cups will work better. Something about the degassing process, I don't want to lie to you and tell you exactly what it does or doesn't do. I just know that, and I may look it up and put it here for you or somewhere on the screen. I want to make extra sure that it does not bubble over in my machine. So I split it up into 3 different cups, which I may need to switch one of these out because I don't think those fat cups are going to fit in there. Let's see. I know 2 of them will. Yeah, 2's going to, but not 3. So we'll have to put... We're going to have to put it in this cup right here. Okay, it still has a few bubbles in it, but hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll be okay. Alright, let's get to pouring it so that we don't waste any time. And I'm going to stay in one place. What? We're going to pour this one first. Make sure it's in there right. Okay, I think that's good. And I'm just going to pour in one corner up from up high, not too high. Just set my finger on it to make sure it doesn't move till we get most of the silicone in there. Oh goodness, I hope we're gonna have enough. I hope it's gonna go over his head. Good Lord. We might make it, y'all. I'll come over here a little bit now. Come on, come on. I should have put this in a bigger container. I think we're gonna make it though. Yep, we're gonna make it. Okay. Yes, we're gonna make it by the hair of our chinny chin chin. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and pour this one. I'm gonna scoot that one real easy over a little bit. We don't want to disturb the mold. And now let's go ahead and pour in this one. We'll go a little bit slower, give it time to get all around the bottom down there. We don't want any trapped air. Okay, I don't know if we're going to make it with this right here for both of our last two ones that we have, but let's see what we got. I made a little bit more because I'm going to make a plug, so for one of my resin pieces. And I wanted to also show you that you don't want to stir your silicone fast. You want to stir it real slow. You don't want to incorporate any more bubbles than you have to or need to in your silicone. You want to make sure you're scraping around the cup. So what I usually do is just take my stick and place it on the side of the cup, and I just spin my cup like that. And then make sure I get the bottom of the cup really good. And if you don't have a debubbler machine to run it through, it's okay. Just stir real slow. Don't stir fast. Don't be whipping up in your silicone. Okay, I'll meet you back when my timer goes off. I have 1 minute and 14 seconds left. Okay, my timer went off. Now I'm going to get my debubbling machine by Let's Resin. Scrape my stick off here. And then we're going to go ahead and start the machine. And I'm putting it on, I noticed with this 30A silicone, you don't want to run it through for 10 or 15 minutes like the other 15A and 10A that I use. This one only takes 5 minutes. Okay, it's ready. We're going to take it out. And now we're going to go ahead and top this one off. There we go. Okay, I don't know how some of these are going to turn out. We may end up having to cut these down the side. So, we'll see. And I spilt one of my my coaster plugs. So, we only have 3 of those. But I can make some, another one to match this as a set. And if you would like some of these plugs for your coasters, they'll be linked in my shop. I put some of the hearts, the squares, and hold on. You'll find these sizes. This size right here. And there'll be, it comes with 4. And I think I put this size right here on there. I'm not sure. And then this size right here. Whoops. Well, I'll pick it up off the floor. And then here's the cute little hearts. And then I also put one of these on there because I have these as well if you want a little bit bigger one. But that's all the ones I'm going to put on my shop for now. Here it is. And that's if you just want to add a cute little shaker out of your coaster molds. And here's those 3. And they work really well in your silicone molds. And sometimes I will bust these, and other times I'm able to reuse them. Okay, now let's go ahead and get inside of this. This is our porcupine. And I just get those in a pack of like 12. I don't save them. I just toss them to the side. Now we're going to get that transfer tape, and I'm just going to pull it right on off. And it only went underneath just a little bit, but it didn't affect our porcupine. See, he doesn't have any film over him whatsoever of the silicone. So we're going to go ahead and get him out. I'm just working around the mold. Don't want to yank him out of there. There we go. And then there's our mold. It looks nice and sparkly in there, but we won't know how it turned out until we cast in it. And we have to wait 24 hours to cast inside of our mold. So we won't be able to do it in this video. But if I have time to cast in one of them, then we will. I'll just have to see if I have time to do it and edit it into this video. Now these are the ones that are going to be tough. They're going to be really tough for me to figure out how to get them out. But I wanted these so bad that I went ahead and attempted to make them. Okay, we're going to work with, I guess, this one first. And I'm going to lay these to the side because we may need a little bit of room here. Now we're ready to go ahead and bust this out of here. So I'm going to start by cutting my cup. And I'm just going to bring my cup all the way around. Kind of like that. Now the hot glue gun that I use is very, very, very strong. It's the Gorilla Glue sticks. So I'm going to need to heat this up or else we won't get it off. So I'm just going to heat that glue up. And then I'm going to go ahead and get this off of here. And there we have it. Now, I bet you're wondering, how on earth are we going to get our crystal rock out of there from that little tiny hole, right? Okay, I'm going to show you, my friends, how we're going to do this. All right, I'm just getting that loosened away from that screw. And get one of these little tools right here. These are just to clean your cuticles, and I'm just gonna go around and get a clean circle off of there. And save all of your silicone, because if you're running short on a mold, you can drop it in and fill that mold up. Now, what we're going to do is, we are going to, and you have to be very careful when you're doing this, we're going to make a zigzag. I'm going to start here, go there, go back that way, and then back down, but I'm not going to go completely down to the bottom here. And I'm going to speed this up a little bit, because it's going to take me a minute, so you'll see it sped up just a little bit. Okay, now I think we have it ready to come out, and I'll show you. See how I zigzagged it? Now we're going to go ahead and bust it out of here. Feels like it's still holding on to something in there. But maybe not. And there it is. And now we have a mold of our beautiful rock here. And you can do all kinds of things with this. You don't just need to make tray handles with it. You can do all kinds of things with it. Alright, I'm going to do the other one, and what we'll do is we will, when we get ready to pour in this, we have to wait 24 hours though. We will go ahead and, I probably won't need to do this because that's a really thick area right there, and once it closes up, it's closed. The resin's not going to come through that. But we'll go ahead and throw a rubber band around it when we get ready to pour it, just to kind of give it a little bit of extra protection to make sure that it doesn't. And the rubber band is not too tight, because you don't want to make it too tight. If you make it too tight, then you're going to distort your casting, and we don't want to do that. So we just want to put it on there just enough to make sure that it's going to keep the mold closed. Alright, now I'm going to do the other one, and then I'll meet you back. Now I've got both of them done, and they are ready to pour. I can't wait to see the castings that we get out of this. Now let's go ahead and do our roses. I'm going to do these probably the same way, because we're going to have that same little opening at the top. So I'm going to do this one the same way I did the other ones. We'll go ahead and get it out of here. Heat that glue up. Go ahead and get that piece off of here. Got it. And then I'm just going to throw that away, because we don't need it. And then that glue will come right off of my pliers here. There we go. And now we're going to do this the same way, because we can't get our rose out of this little hole right here. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's not attached to any part of the screw up top here. Okay, we're just going to peel that off. Now we're ready to zigzag again. Now I think we can go ahead. I have a little blowout. I think we can go ahead and get it out now. There we go. And then there's our mold. It looks beautiful. Now I'm going to get the other one out and I'll meet you back. Okay, here's all of our pieces. And I put each on top to let you know exactly which ones are there. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a few of these so we can see what we get. I may not pour all of them, but we'll at least do one of each if I don't do all of them. Okay, so I will see you in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and pour these 3 molds. I'm not going to do all of them, but we'll do one of each. And our porcupine here has eyes and a nose. So I'm going to use this paint, Testor's paint. This is just paint that you would paint like little cars that you put together. I get it in the oh goodness, I can't get it open. One of the sections at Hobby Lobby, one of the aisles in Hobby Lobby, where they paint the little cars and things like that. I'm trying to think of the word. The little model cars. That's the word I was looking for. Little model cars. So I'm going to paint his eyes blue in there. Right like that. Then I'm going to get my black. Well, that's not it. This is like a deep purple. I don't know where my black went. I'll try to find a mica powder here in a minute to go in there and do the nose. I'm just cleaning up around the outside where I got a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see in there. See there? That's where I painted his eyes in there. This right here paints wonderful in molds. And I'm just going to use this color right here. It's like a gunmetal, deep gunmetal gray or something. It doesn't like it showing up very good. Just get my black out from my drawer. I didn't want to because it was way back there because I'm under construction. And I'm just going to clean up around that area a little bit. Okay, this is like a coffee color, and it is the Degassing brand. So I'm just going to drop a few drops down in here. And we're going to add a tiny bit of glitter. Just a teensy weensy bit, not much. And this is non-sinking glitter. They also have it on intoresin, but Temu also has it as well. I will try and see if I can find it on Amazon, but I don't think I've seen it there yet. And the crystal molds look the best with a transparent color. So we're going to stick with this transparent color right here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and spritz just a little bit of alcohol in my mold. And hopefully our paint is dry in there for his eyes. And then we're going to go ahead and pour. Okay, I'm going to need more than that. So, let's go ahead and add some more to the cup. And I'm going to add one more drop of the ink. And stir that up. Make sure I get the sides of the cup really good and the bottom of the cup. Stirring slow. We don't want to mix up any more bubbles, stir up anymore, incorporate anymore into our cup. Okay, that looks good. We're gonna need a little bit more. Man, this thing is it holds a lot of resin, more than I thought. Okay, I've got him all poured. Now we're going to move on to our rose here. Well, let's do this one. I don't know if I have enough resin mixed up to do that one. We may end up just doing these two. And we might do that one in another video. I'm kind of in a rush today. So yeah, let's just do that. Okay, I'm going to spritz some alcohol off in there. Shake it out. We may have enough to pour them both. I don't know. But I'm going to use... can't decide between the two. Let's do this turquoise. And it's the Degassing alcohol ink. I'm just adding 3 drops. And then I'm going to put in some of these beautiful mylar flakes. Just a few. We're going to place our rubber band back on it. I hope I didn't get that brown colorant inside of it. The coffee that I used for that, I had it on my gloves apparently. I hope it's not in there. I'm making sure my zigzag is matched up. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and pour. I'm going to take it slow. Okay, I took it real slow. I'm just letting it settle a little bit, and then I'm going to add a little bit more in there. Okay, I think that's perfect. We have enough resin left to do our flower one. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and spritz some alcohol inside. Bump it upside down, get the excess out. Where'd my rubber band go? Okay, we'll just use this one. I had to get another one out. Now what I'm going to do here is we're going to do this one in an alcohol ink. In my Pearl Ranger alcohol ink, and it's called Splendor. Alright. Let's go ahead and put our rubber band on here. And we have a lot of loose left right there, so I'm just going to do it one more time around it. And that's perfect. It's not, make sure our thing is matching up. A zigzag. We don't want it not matching. Alright. And the rubber band's not too tight, so it's not constricting our piece. Let's go ahead and pour in some resin. I'm going to put you on a time lapse because I'm going to pour really slow. I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to add some of the ink. I put 10 drops in there. And I'm just going to swirl it all around in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and top the mold off. I'm not sure if we should, I can't tell how much is in there really. I don't know if we should add any more ink. Maybe we will. I'm going to pour a little bit more. And then we'll stop and add some more ink. I put 6 more drops in there. Now let's add a little bit of our T-Rex alcohol ink. I still haven't put it in one of my little smaller bottles, so hopefully I put 7 drops in there. Hopefully that won't be too much. And now I'm just going to top the mold off. Okay, I think that looks good. It's filled to the top. I got something in our, I don't know what that is. Huh. I'm not sure what this is. It's something I was shaking up and putting in all those other ones. I guess I should have moved our porcupine out of the way. I don't know what in the world that is, you guys. Well, I'm going to try to pick the rest of it out. And I will see you all when it's time to demold. See you later. Are y'all ready to demold these? I'm going to let these sit for a little bit longer because I think they need to sit just a little bit longer and get harder, because they're already going to be a little hard for me to get out because I forgot to put my sticks in there. I was going to place this little stick in there so that I could pull it out easily, but I forgot. And then all you'd have to do is snip it off and you'd never even know it was in there. But we can demold this one, and we'll wait on these two. This one was really fat, so it cured faster than those two. Are y'all ready? Here we go. Look at his eyes. Look at his little eyes. Oh, wow. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's beautiful. And you can see through it. I can see straight through it. That is a beautiful color for that. It turned out stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. Got a little bit of resin on the top of there. Let's see if I can get it out. There we go. He's beautiful. She's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, what are we going to name her? This little piece of resin stuck in there. I'm trying to get it out. There it is. We'll have to think of a name for her. She's beautiful. Alright. I will return when these are ready to pull out the mold. And hopefully we'll get just as lucky with these. See you in a little bit. Okay. Y'all want to demold these with me that I made? I made them for me. And I tried putting, I never put one of the hole makers in a heart this deep before. So, let's see what they look like. Because I wanted to be able to get, you know, something through there. Oh, look how pretty that is. Wow. Get my plug out. That is beautiful. And that's just the opening of the hole. And there's a clean opening right there. Now I can do it like that. I think it turned out so pretty. And I used my new T-Rex alcohol ink, and I love the way it makes the inks drop. So I'm really enjoying this new alcohol ink that I'm trying. I mean, it's not new. It's been out there, I'm sure, but it's new to me. I've never used it before. So let's get this one out. This one has my last name initial in it, a B. But it's done with a plug. And I filled it up from the back with some stuff. It's got some stuff in it. But I put too much of the ink in this one, the Sinker White. but I like it. I'm okay with it. It looks really neat and interesting, and that's what I'm about. I like things that are different. And it turned out pretty cute. I'll pull this out. I don't like to just yank them out. I tug on it a little bit until I get it. That's really pretty. A lot going on in there for sure. Okay, now let's get to our pieces here. Hopefully I can get them out of there. If not, then I'll have to redo them and put my sticks in them so I can get them out. But we should be able to get them out. All right. If I can get that pedal lift up right there. I had to pull it up to me so I could get it. But there it is. I had to pull it up close to my chest and y'all couldn't see it, so. And it turned out beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm not too crazy about that color. But there's nothing wrong with it. You can't even tell that I put a hole in the side. There's nothing on this rose that tells you that. Absolutely nothing. Isn't that beautiful? That's going to make a pretty handle. We'll just get this nice and flush right there. And then resin it onto one of my trays. And I think that is so beautiful. That's going to make some really pretty tray handles. Or the top of a jar. You know, this can be for a lot of different things. This is the one I'm most excited for. That's why I saved it for last. Alright. Let's get on in here and see what we got, my friends. A little bit of overpour there. Now I'm going to have to put this one up close to me to get it out too. Okay. There we go. And there it is. That's just part of the mold right there. That turned out stunning. Get that piece of resin off of it. There we go. I got it. That is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I cut my finger right there. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it still hurts. It's very sore. I had a band-aid on it, but I was going to change it before my video, and I forgot to put another one back on. But these turned out so cute. I'm really going to enjoy these molds. Well, here's our molds. We did 5 molds. I can't believe I pulled this off and casted in them all in one video. I worked hard for y'all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Can anybody tell me why we cut a zigzag line down the side of our mold, other than to get the casting out. Why did we do it zigzag and not straight down? Okay, I'm going to tell you. The cut is made into a zigzag pattern so as not to leave a straight seam. This will both hide the seam better when casting and allow the seam to close completely. The two sides locking together like a jigsaw puzzle. The cut is extended until the original can be extracted from the mold. So if you have a piece that you didn't know how you was going to put your casting in there and get it out, hopefully this will help someone out. My schedule is a little bit wonky this week. My anniversary was this week, so I celebrated a little bit for that. We made 23 years, almost to that 25. Also, I didn't have anyone claim the turtle molds here, so I'm going to send a post out today, and hopefully they'll see this video. If they don't, I'm going to give 3 more days for them to see this from today. And if they're not claimed by then we will go ahead and I will take those 2 names off and we will draw again. I know y'all are super excited. And I would have already gotten to this a little bit sooner, but yeah, it's been a wild week for me. Alright, well, it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you either tomorrow or Saturday. Which day would you like my next video to come out, since my schedule this week is a little wonky? You choose, tomorrow or Saturday. Let me know in the comment section below. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.